The sun is shining, there's sand between your toes, and you're soaking up some well-deserved relaxation at the beach. A classic summer experience many of us eagerly anticipate. But for some, a day at the beach becomes unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. With that in mind, here are 15 unbelievable beach moments that, if they hadn't been caught on camera, no one would believe. Number 15. Rattlesnake swimming out to sea. If the ocean wasn't quite scary enough, here's another seafaring creature to add to the list. A video surfaced in 2017 of a rattlesnake taking a quick dip in the ocean, heading out to sea from a North Carolina beach. The video, captured by Sam Corliss, shows what appears to be a large rattlesnake on a beach near the northeast end of Ocracoke Island, an unusual sight. The snake was swimming directly into the ocean with its head sitting above the surface, making its way through the waves directly out to sea. Corliss was the only person on the beach to witness the scene unfold. However, her footage leaves little doubt that the incident took place. She said the rattlesnake appeared comfortable with its surroundings, with snake tracks leading from a bird sanctuary to the island. It was obvious where the reptile had come from, and it's not an isolated sighting either. A charter boat captain spotted the deadly species swimming in the ocean off the Florida Keys in January 2019. Ted Wilson noticed the rattlesnake while fishing and believed it to be a 5-foot eastern diamondback, the largest venomous snake in North America. He took a cell phone video of the snake swimming toward his boat and uploaded it to Facebook. The footage has been viewed more than 150,000 times. Number 14. Man saves baby dolphin. On a beach in Namibia in June 2016, a brave and quick-thinking man saved the life of a baby dolphin that had become stranded after washing ashore. Pelican Point kayaking owner Naw Dreyer discovered the helpless dolphin on his way back from a morning tour. Without hesitation, he checked that the juvenile male dolphin was okay, picked him up, and carefully deposited him back in the ocean. The incident was filmed and shows the tour guide wading in the water with the Benguela dolphin while it settles into the ocean and finally swims away. Onlookers watched in awe as Dreyer gently cradled the dolphin, his actions both calm and deliberate. The beach was quiet except for the sound of waves and the soft encouragement Dreyer gave the animal. For a moment, time seemed to stand still as everyone hoped for the best. The dolphin hesitated, circling Dreyer's legs before finally darting into deeper water. Some witnesses later described the rescue as magical, a rare glimpse of compassion between human and animal. The story quickly spread among locals, inspiring others to look out for wildlife in need. The heartwarming footage was uploaded to Pelican Point Kayaking's Facebook page and became a social media sensation overnight, with a whopping 3 million views in less than 24 hours. At the time, Dreyer said he wasn't sure the young dolphin would survive the ordeal, but once it got into the water, its instincts took over, and it took off like a bullet. Despite the positive outcome, whales and dolphin conservation discourages people from helping, as it can be dangerous. Nevertheless, in this instance, all was well, and thanks to Dreyer, the little dolphin was back swimming in his natural habitat, safe and sound. Number 13. Gray whale sneaks up on surfers. A group of surfers got the fright of their lives while surfing on a California beach in late 2017, when their afternoon was interrupted by an inquisitive visitor of the mammal variety. A young gray whale had snuck onto the shores of Doheny State Beach in Dana Point, unseen by the group and taking them completely by surprise. The moment was captured by Peyton Landau's, who was flying his drone over the area at the exact time the whale was silently sneaking up on the surfers who were waiting for waves near a rocky jetty called Boneyards. Landau's told the Orange County Register that he initially saw a poof in the water while he was out watching the waves near his home in Capo Beach. That poof turned out to be a whale spout. As the drone hovered above, the footage revealed just how close the whale came to the unsuspecting surfers, its massive shadow gliding gracefully beneath the surface. The surfers, focused on the next set of waves, had no idea they were sharing the water with such a gentle giant. Some onlookers on the beach gasped as they realized what was unfolding right before their eyes. The whale's curiosity seemed harmless, almost playful, as it lingered for a few moments before moving on. For a brief second, the surfers and the whale shared a rare, peaceful coexistence, a reminder of how wild and unpredictable the ocean can be. Later, the surfers would laugh about their unexpected encounter, grateful that their surprise visitor was friendly. The incident quickly became the talk of the local surf community, with many wishing they had been there to witness it firsthand. He grabbed his drone and flew it toward the scene, filming the whale swimming beneath the group's feet, completely oblivious to the whale up to this point. One surfer appeared spooked and quickly paddled away. Simply out for an innocent swim, the whale carried on his merry way, unaware of the excitement he had caused. The video was uploaded to YouTube and, as of November 15, 2019, it had been viewed about 150,000 times. Number 12. Glowing beach. Nature has a habit of surprising you, often when you least expect it. But if you're looking to add something truly special to your bucket list, a visit to one of the 6 beaches around the world that naturally glow at night might be a good start. Located in Japan, Jamaica, Vietnam, Australia, Thailand, and the Maldives, these beaches present a stark reminder that nature is truly awesome, putting on an extravagant display of magical beauty. The light is created and emitted by a living organism, not alien life, as some might have you believe. Plankton, not the wee green guy constantly trying to secure the Krabby Patty recipe on SpongeBob, but the other kind, is a sea creature that glows when distressed, producing the picturesque light show. Imagine wading into the water and watching your every movement ignite a trail of blue sparks, as if you're painting with light. The sensation is both surreal and exhilarating, making you feel like you've stepped into a fantasy world. Locals often share stories of ancient legends, believing the glowing tides to be the work of sea spirits or celestial beings. Photographers and nature lovers flock to these shores, hoping to capture the fleeting magic on camera, though the experience is always more breathtaking in person. Some travelers even plan their trips around the lunar cycle, as the glow is brightest on the darkest nights. The phenomenon, known as bioluminescence, is not only mesmerizing, but also a reminder of the delicate balance in marine ecosystems. For many, witnessing this natural wonder becomes a cherished memory, a moment where science and magic seem to blend seamlessly. Although the event is rare, the spectacular display attracts thousands of tourists who enjoy the feeling of effectively swimming among the stars. A picturesque and colorful sight, no doubt, but it's hard to get past the fact that this display is only made possible by plankton in distress, with the light display forming part of their defense mechanism. Number 11. Shark versus croc fight. When 2 of the deadliest marine predators on the planet decide to fight it out, you'd better hope you're not in the way. Footage of the unusual battle was captured from a charter boat floating along the Prince Regent River in the Kimberley region of Western Australia in 2018. Passengers on the boat gasped in disbelief, some fumbling for their phones while others simply stared, transfixed by the primal showdown unfolding just meters away. The water churned violently as the 2 giants clashed, sending up sprays that glistened in the harsh Australian sun. The guide, who had seen his fair share of wildlife encounters, admitted later that he'd never witnessed anything quite like it. For a brief moment, it was impossible to tell which predator would come out on top, as the shark thrashed and the crocodile lunged with terrifying precision. The tension on board was palpable, with everyone holding their breath as nature's drama played out in real time. The footage shows a large crocodile and a shark facing off after the boat crew threw fish scraps into the river. Unbeknownst to the saltwater crocodile gliding across the water, innocently reaching for its meal, another dangerous predator was lurking below, ready to pounce. Without warning, 2 of Australia's deadliest marine predators, the shark and the crocodile, appear to wrestle for the meal, with only one living to tell the tale. Within an instant, the 2 come face to face, with the crocodile snapping its giant jaws around the shark and swimming away with its slightly larger catch of the day. This incident is not an isolated one, with sharks and gators also occasionally going tooth to tooth along the Florida coast. In 2017, photographers captured alligators snacking on sharks in the area, and in 2018, a fisherman in Florida was in the middle of reeling a shark aboard his boat when it was promptly snatched and eaten by a 500-pound Goliath grouper. Considered a relatively rare event, sharks and gators don't often meet up, as one tends to hang out in semi-salty swamps and the other prefers coastal waters. Now it's time for today's topic. A bizarre and unexplainable discovery has left scientists and locals baffled after a strange sea creature washed ashore on a remote beach in England. The creature, unlike anything ever recorded in marine biology, was found by a group of hikers who were stunned by its alien-like appearance. Its body was covered in translucent, rubbery skin, with jagged fins and appendages that seemed to defy known anatomy. What shocked experts even more was the orange, blood-like liquid oozing from the creature's body. Samples of the liquid were collected for analysis, but early reports suggest it contains compounds never before seen in any known marine species. This is unlike anything we've encountered, one marine biologist stated. It doesn't match any species in our records. Speculation about the creature's origin has run wild. Some believe it could be a deep-sea species brought to the surface by shifting ocean currents, while others suggest it might be evidence of a previously unknown ecosystem hidden in the ocean's depths. Conspiracy theories have even emerged, with claims that the creature could be of extraterrestrial origin. For now, the creature remains a mystery, leaving the world to wonder what other secrets the ocean might still be hiding. Number 10. Shark attacks. Like a scene right out of the Steven Spielberg-directed Jaws, a spear fisherman was taken completely by surprise when a shark attacked out of nowhere off the Florida Keys. The dramatic moment when the hunter became the hunted was captured on camera and shows Parker Simpson swimming off Boca Chica Key with a fish in his hand. The water, crystal clear just moments before, suddenly churned with panic as the shark's shadow darted beneath the surface. Simpson's heart raced as he tried to keep his composure, adrenaline surging as he realized just how quickly things could turn dangerous in the open ocean. His dive buddy, Justin, could be seen frantically scanning the water, ready to intervene if the shark circled back. The entire encounter lasted less than a minute, but for those involved, it felt like an eternity. Later, Simpson would recall the eerie silence that followed the attack, broken only by the sound of his own heavy breathing and the distant hum of the boat engine. A shark suddenly charges toward him, first appearing to look at his dive buddy, Justin, but then turning its attention on him. Assuming the shark was headed for the black grouper in his hand, Simpson released it, hoping that was the end of the ordeal. But that was not to be. As he watched the grouper swim away, the shark lunged at him, taking a bite out of his leg and tearing his flipper. Bleeding out from the significant wound to his leg, he makes his way to the surface and is heard yelling at Justin to get his gun. Fortunately, the attack ended almost as soon as it had begun but left Simpson with a nasty wound that required 56 stitches and cost him more than a liter of blood. Number 9. Amazing sand art. Professional sand modeler Matt Long is one very clever artist. He travels the world creating sand castles, earning up to $70,000 for one of his intricate sculptures. Crowds often gather to watch him work, mesmerized by the way he transforms ordinary sand into extraordinary works of art. Sometimes, he even invites children to help with the finishing touches, letting them carve their initials or add a tiny flag to a turret. Long's toolbox is filled with unusual instruments, paintbrushes, palette knives, and even kitchen spatulas, all used to achieve the perfect texture and detail. He's been known to work for hours under the hot sun, carefully misting his creations to keep them from drying out and crumbling. Each sculpture is a race against time and the elements, with wind, waves, and curious seagulls all posing a threat to his masterpieces. Long has worked for Rockefeller Plaza, Ringling Brothers, and Nickelodeon, and it's easy to see why. He creates fairy tale-like castles with incredibly fine detail, and he does this for a living. A far cry from the sand castles we created as children with an upside-down bucket, perhaps a moat if you were lucky. These sculptures are simply amazing. One of his most amazing creations, a 10-foot-tall sculpture of a fairy tale palace, was filmed in New York in 2013. The stunning and elaborate sculpture was so detailed it takes the art of making sand castles to a whole new level. It featured a staircase wrapping around a high tower, intricate arches, individual bricks, and tiny windows, all made from sand and water. A Staten Island local, Long started creating sculptures from sand with his children while on vacation over 20 years ago and has entered and been placed in World Championship sand sculpting competitions. The beauty of his work, however, is fleeting, disappearing over time and leaving a blank landscape for another castle to rise from. Number 8. Dog rescues girl in the sea after thinking she's in trouble. The dog is renowned the world over for being man's best friend, but one dog took his responsibilities to new heights at a beach near Gouville-sur-Mer in France in 2018. Keeping an eagle eye on his owner's granddaughter playing at the water's edge, Mattia believed she was getting a little too close to the water and decided to take matters into his own paws. Onlookers at the beach couldn't help but smile as the determined dog trotted over, tail wagging with purpose. Some beachgoers even applauded Mattia's quick thinking, while others pulled out their phones to capture the adorable rescue mission. The little girl, unfazed by her furry lifeguard, squealed with laughter as she was gently tugged away from the waves. Mattia's loyalty and protective instincts were on full display, earning him instant celebrity status among the crowd. Later, the family joked that Mattia deserved a medal, or at least an extra treat, for his heroic efforts. The incredible moment where he grabbed the little girl by the t-shirt and hauled her out of harm's way was captured on camera, quickly becoming a hit with social media users, gaining over 1 million views and shared by thousands of dog lovers. Critics of her grandparents are likely to say, "Where were they when she fell into the water?" But as we can see on the video, Mattia was simply being a little overprotective. The little girl was, in fact, having the time of her life, safely playing in and out of the water. You can never be too careful, though kudos to Mattia. Fortunately, the little girl enjoyed the game and was seen giggling as the dog latched onto her top and pulled her toward the beach and away from the water. What a clever doggy. Number 7. Lightning striking a boat. An electrical storm is an awesome sight, particularly if viewed from a safe distance. But for one boat owner, it proved extremely unlucky. In July 2019, a powerful storm rolled through Massachusetts, creating booming thunder and impressive lightning strikes. Witnesses described the air as thick and electric, with the sky turning an eerie shade of purple just before the bolt struck. Some nearby boaters scrambled to secure their vessels, while others watched in stunned silence as the lightning arced down from the clouds. The crack of thunder that followed was so loud it set off car alarms along the waterfront and sent flocks of gulls screeching into the sky. Emergency crews arrived quickly, checking for fire and ensuring no one was hurt, while curious onlookers gathered to inspect the charred remains of the boat's mast. The incident became the talk of the marina, with many swapping stories of close calls and near misses during storms past. One of these strikes was recorded by a passerby who caught the moment it hit a private pleasure craft docked in South Boston. The video showed the bolt hitting the boat, the resulting sparks, and what appeared to be an explosion on board, looking very much like a 4th of July fireworks show. The sparks were seen to die out almost as quickly as they started. Fortunately, there was no one on board the boat at the time, and the damage was limited to just the one boat at the dock. According to statistics, the likelihood of a boat being hit by lightning in the United States is about 1 in 1,000, with the location and type of boat increasing or decreasing the odds. If, for example, your boat is moored in Florida, the chances are greater than if it was in Idaho, with Florida accounting for 1/3 of all lightning-related incidents. Number 6. Nightmare octopus. An over-friendly sea creature made for a hilarious sight when it was filmed in Torre del Greco, Naples, Italy. The octopus could be seen wrapping its tentacles around Giuseppe Tortorella, effectively giving him a slimy bear hug. Onlookers from the boat burst into laughter, cheering Giuseppe on as he spun in circles, trying to free himself from his unexpected companion. The octopus seemed to enjoy the attention, occasionally flashing its colors and squirting a small jet of water in protest whenever Giuseppe tried to wriggle away. Roberto, meanwhile, was torn between helping his friend and capturing the perfect photo for social media, ultimately choosing the latter. Even the boat's captain couldn't resist joining in the fun, offering playful advice on how to charm the octopus into letting go. The whole scene quickly turned into an impromptu comedy show, with everyone on board rooting for Giuseppe and his new 8-armed friend. Tortorella was out for a swim with his friend Roberto when he encountered the clingy octopus, an encounter that was captured by a cameraman standing on board a boat nearby. He tries to shake the 8-legged creature off. However, due to his very smooth dive suit, Tortorella just couldn't get rid of the enormous hitchhiker. Smiling as he tries to disentangle the octopus, Tortorella doesn't appear fazed by the incident at all. Attempts at removing the creature by ducking under the water repeatedly make no difference to his predicament, with the octopus's tentacles having to be physically peeled off of him. A hilarious video providing proof of an incident that will no doubt be talked about for years to come, both above and below the ocean floor. Number 5. Adorable cat swimming. Slightly unusual but incredibly cute, Nathan the cat loves to swim, and preferably in the ocean. The bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, completely adorable cat is a rescue, adopted by forever parents Ryan and Melissa in 2017. It's a well-known fact that cats and water don't normally mix. However, Nathan was determined to be different right from the start. Onlookers at the beach are often stunned to see a cat paddling confidently alongside surfers and swimmers, her sleek black fur glistening in the sun. Sometimes, curious dogs will approach, only to be outswum by the fearless feline as she darts through the shallows. Nathan has even become something of a local celebrity, with beachgoers snapping photos and sharing her aquatic adventures online. Her Instagram account is filled with videos of her chasing tiny fish, rolling in the sand, and even hitching a ride on Ryan's surfboard. She's also been known to nap under a beach umbrella, paws stretched out, completely at home by the sea. A unique feline in more ways than one, even her name is unique. Yes, Nathan is a girl, basically a mermaid, or meerkat. This gorgeous little black kitty enjoys nothing more than to follow her parents into the ocean any chance she gets. The couple live a very active lifestyle and decided their indoor cat might like to do the same. Taking Nathan along on one of their trips to the beach, she happily trotted off without her leash, following the pair into the water, becoming more and more confident with every visit. In fact, this intrepid kitten is even learning how to conquer the waves. Number 4. Huge cliff collapse. Imagine your horror when strolling along the beachfront one day, minding your own business, and the next minute, the cliffside surrounding you starts to implode. The reaction for many would be to run, but not so for Norfolk local Brad Dams, who decided to stop and film the cliff fall at Sidestrand, near Cromer. As the ground began to tremble, a flock of startled seabirds took flight, their cries echoing above the rumble of shifting earth. A few curious onlookers gathered at a safe distance, phones raised, as the spectacle unfolded before their eyes. The air filled with dust and the sharp scent of wet soil, while the sound of cracking rock reverberated along the coastline. Some witnesses described the event as both terrifying and mesmerizing, a reminder of nature's raw power and unpredictability. Dams later admitted his heart was pounding, but his fascination with geology kept him rooted to the spot, determined to capture every second. He was there to complete research as part of a 6-month monitoring project, using 3D scans to track any changes in the coastline. Dams was in the right place at the right time, considering himself very lucky to witness thousands of tons of rock falling into the Atlantic. The area had seen intense rainfall at the time, and the cliff collapse may have resulted from this. Members of the public were warned that other cliff edges could be vulnerable and were urged to give the area a wide berth. Dam's footage shows the dramatic moment when a large section of the cliff collapses, with chunks from the top peeling off and pushing the rest down with it to the beach below. The process began around 6 a.m., with the earth falling all the way to the waterline, making it impossible to walk along the beach between Trimingham and Sidestrand at high tide. Number 3. Giant Lego Man. All manner of items have been found on the shores of beaches throughout the world, but none quite so intriguing as the unique Lego figure that arrived on a beach in Japan. And not just any piece of Lego either. This piece would have been hard to miss, measuring a massive 8 feet from end to end. The sight of the giant toy caused quite a stir among early morning beachgoers, who gathered around to snap photos and speculate about its origins. Children squealed with delight, climbing onto the figure for impromptu photo ops, while adults debated whether it was a lost movie prop or a clever marketing ploy. Local news crews quickly arrived, broadcasting live from the sand as theories about the Lego Man's journey spread across social media. Some even joked that the figure had washed up after a wild night out at sea, searching for its missing Lego friends. The mystery deepened when a note was found tucked into the figure's hand, written in both English and Japanese, adding to the sense of playful intrigue. Spotted by a surfer on Yagahama Beach in Kamakura, south of Tokyo, the plastic yellow figurine was dressed in blue trousers and a red t-shirt emblazoned with the cryptic message, "No real than you are." If that wasn't odd enough, apparently several others have turned up on beaches in the Netherlands, Brighton, and Florida. Whether they're the same figure or this guy's friends is uncertain, but the hardy chap, named Ego Leonard, is said to be one of the works of a Dutch guerrilla artist who works under the same pseudonym. Likely a publicity stunt, the Lego Man appears to turn up in areas where the artist, Leon Keir, is exhibiting at local art festivals. Keir is said to have been responsible for Ego's first appearance on Zandvoort Beach in the Netherlands in 2007. Number 2. Orcus approaching swimmers. A lone swimmer at Hahii Beach got an unexpected visitor in 2018 when she locked eyes with not one but several orcas circling her in the water. The image, captured via drone, shows the terrifying moment a pod of killer whales approached Judy Johnson, with one nibbling her toes. The water was crystal clear, making every movement of the Orcus visible from above, and beachgoers watched in awe from the shore. Some onlookers shouted warnings, while others simply stood frozen, unable to believe what they were witnessing. The Orcus glided gracefully, their dorsal fins slicing through the waves, and for a moment, it looked like a scene from a nature documentary. Judy could feel the rush of water as the whales swam around her, their curiosity almost playful rather than predatory. The encounter was so surreal that she later described it as being inside a living postcard. Initially, she believed the inquisitive creatures to be dolphins. However, when she noticed the white coloring on their backs, she decided to head into shore. Wearing a black wetsuit, Johnson was concerned the whales would mistake her for a seal and take more than a nibble out of her. However, she soon returned to the water to finish her swim. Not content with meeting up with her just once, the whales decided to introduce themselves again. Johnson said that although she was initially gripped with fear, she soon relaxed and says it was a life-changing experience. The footage was captured by Australian tourist Dylan Brayshaw, who was surprised Johnson had returned to the water following the first encounter. But according to orca expert Dr. Regina Eisert, the swimmer had nothing to worry about, with killer whales simply being big dolphins with a fancy paint job. Number 1. A crocodile suddenly appearing. Swimmers and sunbathers at Tayrona National Natural Park in northern Colombia quickly abandoned their beach towels and sunscreen when a toothy beast casually wandered across the sand toward them in January 2019. The incident was filmed by an eyewitness who watched a group of men wandering along the sand, right into the path of the scaly reptile, unaware of its presence. The sun was blazing, and the air was filled with the sound of crashing waves, but suddenly, all attention shifted to the unexpected visitor. Some children nearby squealed in delight, mistaking the creature for a giant lizard, while others clung to their parents in fear. Lifeguards blew their whistles frantically, urging everyone to clear the area as the reptile lumbered forward with surprising speed. A few brave souls tried to snap photos, but most people were too busy scrambling for safety to worry about social media. The croc, seemingly unfazed by the commotion, paused to bask in the sun before continuing its slow trek toward the water. Upon realizing the imminent danger, the men are seen fleeing from the creature, with thoughts of becoming its afternoon snack no doubt running through their minds. Although potentially dangerous to humans, local officials say this species is not known to be as aggressive as some others, with around 15 living in the national park. How reassuring. Beachgoers were also reminded that the park was not just for people to enjoy, it was also home to protected wildlife, so it was not unusual to see them in the area. And it seems the land-loving croc isn't the only one to watch out for, with the saltwater version responsible for 30 attacks per year. Experts advise staying at least 20 meters away and not to provoke or swim near them. Perhaps relaxing by the pool might be a safer option. Next time you're relaxing at the beach, take a look around. There's bound to be a chance to catch a social media-worthy moment. You might even witness something so unique it's never been seen before. And if not, why not create your own unforgettable scene? Don't forget to check out our other awesome content appearing on your screen now. See you next time.